Get down.
Let me clear my throat. Yeah, oh, that's better. That's better. Somebody pass around the offering. Since I'm always preaching on tracks, you feel me? I'm about to get paid for it. Sermon of the day. You right where you supposed to be, baby. Informant, that information forming. Important you get a portion of fortune pouring. Confession, fortunately, blessings on now they snoring. You mellow, so focused on scoring. Got you underperforming. I never expect something, never assume nothing. Judging me for my past, but that's why I'm triumphant. I don't demand, I know where I stand like engineer hands. Watch how my life pans. Cut that game plan. Show out like a jotter. Pop out like a cutter. Telling the kick rock, skipping the course, squares like hopscotch. This gonna be my mood to my beat drop. Putting my boogies, using my diddy boots. Ain't no stop. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Congratulations on the celebration. I know I don't without a need of a validation. No congratulations on no celebration. I know I don't without a need of a validation. Yeah. If having hope is dangerous, call me evil Knievel. You leading on the wrong side, living with pens and needles. So lethal, made Shane Black wanna write a sequel. Cause I snuggle my dream till it's seen as illegal. And I still probably will, cause I can never give up. I got my goals calling me, how could I never pick up? Either we make up or just break up. With a snake hits, get the rake up. Yeah, selfish, I'ma cake up. If I don't shake me to wake up. Let my depression catapult me to succession. Shine a light on my imperfections like a projection. Every struggle and lesson, your issues ain't your oppression. Never got a question, keep pushing me to progression like I'ma make the rest of my life live. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life the best of my life. Yeah, I'ma make the rest of my life live. I'ma make the rest of my life live. Gonna make the rest of my life.
Okay, well, this is how the night is starting. I'm saying hello and I'm on mute. Look at that. Anyway, good evening, everyone. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. How is everybody doing? I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you are having a November to remember. I know I am. And I hope that the rest of the month is going to be just as fantastic as the beginning has started. So we appreciate you tuning in to the Bravo with Sheila Network. I am your Thursday night host. You know, it's me, your girl, Lady Dawn B, just coming in to have a little conversation and a little fun with you all so we can wrap up our week, right? I hope everyone had a great day. So as always, just want to give you a few reminders while we are just waiting for some people to join. So for those of you who are here, if you wouldn't mind, just hit that thumbs up button, just like that. And that is the like button. And that actually helps to push our information out further into the YouTube streets. And we love it out here in these YouTube streets. And we hope to stay out here in these YouTube streets. So you help us. It is free 99 by just hitting that button, that thumbs up. And it gets us further out into these waves. All right. It's free 99. I promise you it won't hurt. Sit it one time. We love it. We appreciate it. And we thank you for it. Also, we want to invite you to engage with us in conversation. We want you to join in. We want to hear from you. We don't want to do all the talking, but we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts and feelings and opinions on the topics that we are bringing in here? Oh, hold on a minute. We ain't even start yet and already we got a super chat. Look at here, look at here. All right, look now. We got to hold on. That gets double applause. Thank you so very much. Sir Hale is in the building. The greatest to ever do it. I'm so honored. I just love when he comes through. Listen, if you're not following him, you need to follow him. Tune in to his channel, his station. Amazing information. I thought I was straight no chaser. Listen. He's hard to the point, okay? He have you rethinking your whole life and claiming, a whole nother way of living. He'll help get you right. I love it. I love it. I love it. Welcome in, Sir Hale. Much love to you. Appreciate you so much. Thank you for the super chat and for joining us on tonight. for the time, for while you're here. We appreciate you. So whenever there's a super chat, we gotta stop. We gotta stop and put it up there and recognize and shout you out. So I'm all excited now. You gotta be smiling and carrying on. Appreciate you so very much for that. Tonight, we want to invite you all to engage in the conversation. Your thoughts, feelings, and opinions are important to us. We don't want to do all the talking. We want to hear from you. We want you to share so we can dialogue and grow together. Is that all right? I hope that's all right. It's a safe space. I promise you it is. So feel free to share. The one thing we do ask, though, and we do demand and expect, because this is an integral station, is that there is respect. We don't have to agree. We're not here to convict or convince anyone. This is not counseling. This is not therapy. This is conversation by which we can grow. We're all sharing from our well of experience through our lives. And we want to continue to make that a safe and integral space. So we don't have to agree, but we do have to respect one another's thoughts, feelings, and opinions. If disrespect is found anywhere, whether it's in the chat or on the platform, we have a lovely young lady. She is the greatest moderator to ever do it in these YouTube streets. I promise you, she is none other than our moderator, Ine Kenyas, in the building. Hi, beautiful. Thank you so much for being here, as always, on her post and holding it down. And as sweet as she is, trust me, her exit finger is real sharp. It's real sharp, real quick. So, she will click you out of here in a quick minute. Let's not make her have to click her heels and click that button. We appreciate her on tonight. So let's continue to just engage in good conversation, to do so respectfully. So again, welcome in everyone. For those of you who are in the expensive sections, that's right, in the silent seats, which we call the expensive section, we invite you to come on down to the chat. Come on in, join us, talk with us, share with us. We want to hear from you. Y'all paying attention to what's going on up here. Life is happening. So we invite you to come share with us. Come on down in the comment section. Say hello so we can say hello back. We want to dialogue with you. It's important that we hear from you. We're here to learn and grow together. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into this conversation tonight. Tonight's topic it's something I feel is near and dear to my heart. It's a question that, we've been talking about for many years. People are talking about, when you start engaging with people and start getting to know them in potential relationships and all these things. And, the question starts to come up, what do you bring to the table? I'm so annoyed by that question at this point in life, to be honest. So I figured tonight, while we're preparing for the holiday season, we are getting ourselves geared up to go to where the table, where at many people's houses. Why? Because at every house, there's something different, right? So we're going to go house hopping. Some of us do that in relationships. We go relationship hopping because we want to know what you got on your table. So tonight, we're going to tap into this conversation about the table. And we are going to see what it's really all about. So before we get into the conversation, let's see. We've got my mama, Pastor Rosa, aka Pastor Rosa, y'all know her as, in the chat saying, good evening, everyone. Just stop by to support and cast my vote. Homework calleth. All right. Well, answereth, ma'am. Run on and see what the end is going to be. Go get your A. And we appreciate you for stopping by and for saying hello. And mommy says, good evening to my Ane, Theo, and all those on the platform. And Theo says, hi, Mama Rosa. We appreciate you stopping by, Mom. We really do. And while I'm at it, because I totally bypassed everything because I got so excited about our super chat, right? I just want to say, first of all, if you're not following the network, please do hit that subscribe button and follow us, not just here, but across the street on the Sheila Ingram Network as well. Why? Because there's great conversations, there's great information, and there are great lives that are happening on both spaces. And so with that being said, first of all, there is Mondays Beyond the Mic with my girl, Dr. E, as the host, and I get to ride shotgun with her. And they did such a beautifully beautifully black thing on Monday night that I am still trying to gather myself together. So again, I want to encourage you to tune in on Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Bravo Sheila Network. But thank you, Monday Beyond the Mic, Dr. E, Pastor Sheila, everybody. Love y'all so much. I appreciate you for surprising me and just honoring me for my birthday. It's coming this next week. It's coming, y'all. They got me good. They got me good. So I've been riding high all week, and I appreciate it so very much. And also tomorrow, and I want to get all this out of the way before we get into the conversation. On tomorrow, if you tune in across the street to the Sheila Ingram Ministries at 11 a.m., you will get this dynamic trio, these women of grace, who is Pastor Sheila, Reverend Jenny, my auntie gangster, and my mama, Pastor Rosa. The three of them come together and they share a dynamic journey through the word, practical principles, and talk. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it. So you need some encouragement. Tune in, tap in, come in and see what they're talking about. And then at 12:30, somebody say 12:30, still across the street of that channel. If you tune in, I will be there. That's right. We have dual work going on over here. So tomorrow at 12:30, I will also be across the street, switching hats. So join me for about 30 to 40 minutes of some spirituality with Elder Dawn B, where we bring encouragement through the word, through song, and through prayer. So I'm excited about that. And I believe that's all of the announcements. Now that we got the church stuff out the way. And before I bring up our Thursday night crew, let's see who else we got in the building. Uh-oh. There goes my beloved is in the building. Moose Beach Strength is in the place. Hey, darling, how are you? Thank you for joining. You know, you are welcome to come up on this side. I hope I sent it to you. I don't even remember. But, you know, hit me up if you need it. If you want to come up and share on this great conversation tonight. He said, how's everyone? How's everybody doing? I hope y'all are doing well. I'm glad that you are here again. I'm excited. So here we go, y'all. Let's get it on and popping. And who do we have in the house? Y'all know him. Y'all love him. He's the reason why we have a disclaimer. He is in the person of Sir Eric is back in the building on tonight. How are you doing, E? What's good? What's popping, sir?
Chilling. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. All right. So we see what kind of night this is going to be. He is back. Oh, all right, Moose. Got you. No problem. I'm just glad to see you here. I was glad to see you. Know, I get excited when you show up, you know, but, you know, we going to leave that for another time. All right. So we're glad to see Sir Eric back in the building. I feel like he has some amazing popcorn. I think that he is.
Oh, I'm done with that. I ate all 4 bags of those. That's double.
Lord have mercy. Okay. You know, Moose, we here. All right, I'm gonna go back to me because you know I'll get distracted in a minute now. All right, so hold on, y'all. So all right, so Sir Eric is back in the house. We're glad to see him in the building, and of course, you know her, you love her. There is no one else like her. He said he done with it. Moose, when I tell you, this guy,
Brother Moose, what's good?
Mommy said, E in the house. Mom bringing out her hood side. Okay, come on, Mama.
How's it going? I love you. Miss you.
He tore through them bags. Okay, he must be doing a reorder soon. It's some specialized popcorn that's good for your spirit. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't get me wrong, y'all. You know, we anyway. Before we get tied up on something. So also bringing up to the stage on tonight. Y'all know her, you love her. There's none other like her. And she belongs to us. She is here. She is in the bucket with a name, the one and the only. You know, sometimes it's ones and dones. You got to keep them ones and dones because they don't come around often. So every time there's a one and done, you know, I'm going to keep it. Y'all know her. You love her. Whenever she's in the house, she's dropping some good gems, something that's going to make you think, help you get your life together. She keeps it not just 100, but 1,000 all the time, on and off. It is what we do. So, America has their sweetheart and Bravo has ours. She is Coach Theo in the building. So glad to see you, sis.
Good evening. Good evening. Welcome back, Eric.
Thank you. I feel like I was missed.
Are you feeling missed?
You were missed.
Thank you.
You definitely something. Definitely something. Oh, see, there we go. In the building. Yeah. Moose said that's what's good, my brother.
Yes, sir.
See, I love this. Don't worry, Moose will be over here across the street in a minute. So, guys, on tonight, as y'all know, okay, tonight is a good time to talk about the table. This question is often raised. What do you bring to the table? And I thought about it because, holidays is coming up, Thanksgiving. A lot of people go house hopping and we going to prepare ourselves to do what? To go to the table, right? So most of the people this time of year, people try to starve themselves to make sure their stomach is on empty because why? They want to make sure that they got room for everything that's at the table. And depending on how many houses you go into, you got to make room. You got to make room. You got to do this day. You got to strategically have a plan for how you're going to get through all of the day. Because when you get to each house that you're going to, you want to be able to enjoy the things on the table, right? Am I the only one? Is it just me?
I ain't staying too long. My plates are already ready, one and done. I'm going in. Hi, how you doing? Thank you. Bye. Next house.
But you prepare. He prepares. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure we all prepared. Even if you're just going to nobody's house. I know going to just being in my house. I'm like, okay, I know how this day is going to be, so I'm preparing myself, to get to the table. Why? Because we know that there's going to be something on it. We may not know what that something is, but we know there's going to be something on it. So, with this in mind, when we ask this question about what do you bring to the table in relationship spaces, this is typically what tends to happen. You meet someone, you're talking, you're enjoying their company, maybe, I don't know. Some people, it's real soon before you can even get to the coffee date or the ice cream date or the park date or meet in the parking lot date, whatever it is kind of date it is, they're already starting to ask you, what do you bring to the table? What do you bring that I actually want to spend time with you? What are you bringing that I should want to give you my time, right? So we asked this question. Have you guys ever experienced anyone asking you that question?
Listen, I've been out of the game for a minute, so I don't know what the new questions are.
It's the same. It's the same. It's the same.
Okay.
But this question, what do you bring to the table?
I don't know that I've had anybody ever ask me that question.
Have you ever asked anyone that question?
No. I don't think so. I mean, for me, I think, you meet someone, you take time to get to know them, and eventually you'll see what they're bringing to the table or not, right? So,
okay.
But yeah, I don't think I've ever asked someone like, what do you bring to the table? Like, that's a weird question if you ask me, because what is the table? What table are we talking about?
That is my whole point. You getting there. We getting there already. I like how we start. I like when we starting in the vein, y'all. So, E, have you ever asked anyone that question, or has that question been asked to you?
To be honest, no. No. I never had that question asked. I've never asked that question.
Has anyone ever asked you that question?
No.
All right. Well, I guess it's just me right now because I have.
So people have asked you that question, like, what table?
Well, see, there we go. So we're just gonna jump right into it because for me, my response is always, well, okay.
What can you offer?
What table are we talking about? See, now Moose is over there in the comment section because we right here, we all on the same page, y'all. Because the problem I have with this question is you're asking me what am I bringing to the table, but what is the table for? Because it's going to Well, what the table is for. Moose says, I think we need to define the table. Exactly.
Exactly.
He agrees. But you see where people start is, well, what do you bring into the table? And it comes off kind of pompous. Like, again, what are you bringing that I should give you my time or pull you into my world? And sometimes I do understand it, because you have to be cautious about who you are bringing around and into your space. Because if you think about it, in order for someone to get to the table, they got to come in your kitchen. A kitchen and bathrooms in the house, to me, are very sacred space. Kitchen, bathroom, bedroom. We know people have to use them all, but the kitchen, you don't let everybody in your kitchen. Mama didn't let everybody in their kitchen. But to get to the table, you got to go through something to get to the table. Let's see what else they're saying in the chat.
But you have to go to get to the table is the door, because you can't get into somebody's place without going through the door.
But people are asking, what are you bringing to the table?
And are they? Is it? I mean, I know it's probably a metaphor. I know it's a metaphor. But are they like? Is it material things they're talking about? Is it emotional things? Like,
right? Because
let's define the table. Let's define the table.
But before we define the table, let's see what they're saying in the chat. And they says, I don't think I've ever been asked the table. I've been asked to the table. My thought is, when sweet potato pie is cooking, the aroma speaks for itself. Okay, I get you in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. We being deep tonight. Okay.
Y'all starting in the vein. Moose says, I get it. It's what are you bringing to the relationship? He also says, what are you contributing? Is the relationship the table? Or is the vision the table? I.e. the vision for the relationship. And welcome in the building to the amazing curator of this space, who I am so grateful she graciously yields me this captain's chair every Thursday night to spend time with y'all. Welcome in, Auntie Bravo, also known as Pastor Sheila's in the house. We appreciate her presence. Give it up for the queen.
All right.
She always checks on us. That's right. Listen, y'all are in the vein, because that was my whole question. Okay, he giving it up for you, Auntie Bravo. He's giving it up. My whole question was, well, I don't think we should be asking what are you bringing to the table in this season. The question really is, what is the table for? Because if you think about it, you got all different kinds of tables.
Yeah.
You got a kitchen table, you got a coffee table, you got a side table, you got a bedroom table. Yeah. You got footstool, just all different kind of tables.
You got
when you ask him, you got a nightstand. So which table exactly is this that we are talking about? But yet people will come into relationships starting that question, wanting to know, what do you have that you are presenting on this table or on the table, in order for me to welcome you into my space, for me to want you even in mine. What are you bringing that I should give you parts of me and what I have? Now, when I looked up this topic of the table, about what do you bring to the table, because I think we start this conversation sometimes too early, and then when the question comes up, people feel prompted to ask or to answer. Now, for me, I'll be like, bro, I've known you 2 weeks. What you talking about? What am I bringing? I ain't bringing nothing to the table right now. I don't even care where your table is, sir. I don't. It matters not. Like,
I'm bringing the utensils and the plates.
No,
Actually, what are you bringing to the potluck?
I tell all the time, like, nothing. I ain't bringing nothing. I'm not bringing nothing to. Why? Because I didn't ask to be at the table. I didn't receive an invitation to your table, and I didn't even know.
Wipe your eyes.
How I know the table is where I want to sit?
Yeah.
But
this table is like Eric said. How do I get to the table? How many?
You gotta go through some stuff.
I have to go through to get.
And this is the thing. Y'all on it tonight. We're going to be done with this show in like 15 minutes. Because it's the truth. It's the truth. In any house, anywhere you go, You got to get through, you got to go through a part of the house to get to the table. In relationships, when we say this, you have to really realize you have to go through some things to get to the table, because I don't want everybody at my table. I might invite you to my living room, but I'm not inviting you to my dining room. You know, just because you come to my, why? Because the table is a place of preparation. The table is a place of negotiation. The table, and a matter of fact, if you really want to get to it, we came in with an 8:30 spirit tonight. I love this. Like everybody came, because 8:30 we turn left, so we just starting left. But if you think about it, I don't want to bring anything to your table, and I don't want you to bring anything to my table. Because first of all, we're supposed to be coming together to build the table together. What happened to that? Because when you're bringing stuff to a table, most likely you are bringing stuff from your past relationships. You are bringing your stuff, whether it be a good experience or bad experience. You come in saying, well, this is who I am. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm not going to do. And you're already setting yourself up to react and respond to what's happened to you previously. Not being present in this space, because our space is different, right? So, we got somebody talking in the chat. Let's see before I respond to this, read this. Mama says, the table represents the relationship, and it is a fair question when you realize people come in your life just to take space. Some people just want us to be their next, but they come with needs. That's good, mommy, and that's true. But you know what? Y'all are on it tonight. Like, y'all, I'm about to throw my whole note sheet out of the window, because we don't even need this. And that is true. But we have to first define, as Move said earlier, what is the table? I can't tell you what I'm bringing to it if I don't know what kind of table. Okay, when you go to a wedding or any type of event, when it's time to eat, what do? You get up. If they're not serving you in this buffet stuff, you got to go where? Over to the table, right?
Yep.
And they have what? Different sections of the table. You got table. This is the table where the meat is at. This is the table where the vegetables are at. This is the table where the dessert is at. This is the table where the beverages are at. So again, what table are we talking about? And we just got into relationship. Like, I don't even know you, and you're already asking me, what am I bringing? How many people are we cutting off way before we ever give themselves an opportunity to show us who they are, and for us to show them who we are, by already asking them preemptively, well, what are you bringing?
So when someone has asked you that question, it's been like, what, 2 weeks since you, like, because someone has asked you that question.
Yes. I'm like, what do you
and it's like, what, in the first 2 weeks, first 3, like, first 2 days?
It depends on the person, because let me just be honest here. You have a lot of women that will say, what are you bringing to the table to the man after just going out on 2 dates?
Mm-hmm.
And so forth. I've never really heard a man ask a woman, what are you bringing to the table? He'll say, what are you bringing to the table, in response to what the woman says to him. Because if she asks the question, well, what are you bringing to the table? We as a man, we're like, well, what are you bringing to the table?
I mean, and that may be. That may be.
And then you're doing your pros and cons and making a list of stuff that she's bringing and that he's bringing. And then
but how do you even? You haven't even. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you land. Go ahead.
I'm saying, if we have that conversation, and I bring up five things that I'm bringing to the table, and you're bringing up 5 things that you're bringing to the table, we're each comparing those 5 things to see if they're matching up. Well, okay, I said finances. I said I'm bringing financial stability. She said she's bringing financial stability. That's a matchup. You might have 3 out of the 5 matchups.
So has anyone ever asked you to see your credit report or your credit score?
I wish somebody would have.
It's different out here in these streets.
Because I've heard people say that has happened. I've heard people say that has happened to them.
Well, yeah. Well, what's your credit score? Well, why do you want to know my credit score?
I tell them mine. It's 3 numbers.
Right.
It's 3 numbers. It's 3.
And they go,
See, but
are those high 3 numbers or those low 3 numbers?
Like it's 3 numbers. It depends on where you start. If you're reading forwards or backwards, it's you don't need to know that, right? See, but this is the thing. These are questions.
Like those questions. Those. I mean, I know people have asked that question. I know people have that. Not to me, but I've heard people say that has happened to them.
Yeah, and these are questions that people start asking early on in relationships, or not even in the relationship, but in the potential space of the relationship, because they say they don't want to waste their time. It's not a waste. They don't want to waste their time. If you are, my credit score could be 925 today.
And
one simple thing could happen, and tomorrow it could be 632. And then 2 months from now, because you know it takes a whole lot longer to get it back up than it does to knock it down. And then 2 months from now, it could go up and be like 1,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you're not. People judge off of the one moment. Correct. And again, worrying about what is someone bringing instead of experiencing the person. And I'm like, what is the table for? So why are you asking me? Because Eric, you talked about matching up. You know what we match up with.
Right.
Hey, Kathy, welcome in. Good to see you, beautiful. Thank you for joining tonight. It's Thursday. Come on, sis, do double duty. I love it. I see your comments, mommy. I'm gonna get you. But Eric, I want to bring this up. While we're in the comment section, you know what? Let me get mom's comment in there too. Mom said it would be a question from a man or a woman who has been hurt and they just want to know what the person wants. And I can agree with that that's partially where it comes from sometimes. But let's just put this out there, okay? Because listen, y'all. My toxicity for 2025 is coming to an end. I only have about 6 more weeks to be toxic. And then shut up.
You turning over a new leaf in 2026?
I'm trying.
The same leaf from 2025 to turn over in 2026.
I'm not gonna bring the same toxic leaf to 2026, but
didn't say
might be a little spicy. We might be spicy in 2026. I gotta see. But Eric, when you talked about matching up, okay, you made the example or the point of, you're good with finances, she's good with finances. Okay, let's think about it this way. And that's a benefit and that's wonderful and it's great. But let's think about this when we talk about coming to the table. If everybody comes to the table, brings chicken, everybody bring the same thing to the table, then what else do we have? There has to be some pros and cons. There has to be some balance. Yes. It's wonderful when we both know how to manage money, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that. But there also needs to be some contrast so that where you're strong, that's where you lead. Where I'm strong, I lead. Correct. And we can teach each other so that we have balance. I'm good with making a budget. My problem was I would have the heart, and it's just stupid, y'all. It's stupid. And I'm just telling you it's stupid. I don't know what my problem is. Just, I don't know. I would say pray for me, but I don't know. I'm good with making a budget. I could say, okay, this is what we got. This was coming in. All right. And this is what this is. And so that needs to be paid by this date and needs to be paid by that date. Da, 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 da. Right? You can sit there and do all that. All right. If you want me to write out the checks, no problem. I'll write out all the checks. Now, we know that this is old school because we don't even use checks no more, right? But I'm just saying. Now, the hard work is done. The easiest thing was to put the checks in the mailbox.
Yeah.
Shut up, Eric. That
I didn't say nothing.
Am I lying, though? Am I lying? That's the one. I don't know what my problem was.
You didn't put the checks in the mailbox? That was the problem?
That was just...
Like, hey, did you remember to mail off the car note payment? Huh? Car note. Be like, yeah. Mike's out there hooking up the car right now. Did you make the payment? You like, I thought I did. Money's
in the bank now. Money's in the bank. Budget's done. Living la vida loca on the rest. Never puts the checks. Like, do not trust me. Do not trust me to put.
Did you not pass a mailbox? Like, they didn't have like
all the time at the end of the street.
Yeah, I can
On
pass.
Corner White Plains Road. Yep, sure did. Matter of fact, post office was a few blocks from. I'd be like, sir, if you don't take these, let me do my part.
And then
in a minute we ain't gonna have nowhere to live. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but I'm saying that to say
that's where the balance comes out, right? Like,
right. And this is why we need some contrast. I mean, and it is important to know what a person is bringing, but it has to be checks and balances. There has to be some contrast. And sometimes if the person is not identical to what we do and who we are, we just write them off. We are not interested. Well, because I like red and he likes yellow, and that's just not gonna work because when we hang our clothes in the closet, it's gonna look, you know what I'm saying? Like, we come up with some stuff. But again, we're so busy worried about what a person is bringing that we don't even give the relationship a chance to develop and get to know a person. Because if I don't know what's needed on the table, I can't tell you what I'm going to bring. Again, what's the point in Eric bringing chicken, Theo bringing chicken, I'm bringing chicken, and we say we having dinner? Well,
chicken, we having fried chicken, baked chicken, chicken salad.
right. You got all of the same stuff.
We got nothing but chicken. Where's the sides?
Right. What else is there? And this is why we have to be open to differences when we're asking people, even in asking people, what do you bring to the table? And Eric, you made a good point too. A man may ask a woman, well, what do you bring to the table? Because a woman will ask them first. Well, these days, a lot of men up front want to know because they've been through it with enough women. They are tired. And I mean, you speaking, well, you wouldn't know because you ain't had that question.
Right.
But men, I ain't mad at y'all, man. Y'all are tired. They're tired of being asked, like, well, what am I bringing? Well, what am I? They're going, well, what do you bring? You don't know what I'm bringing. Well, what you got? You know, and we have to be just stop thinking, as Mommy mentioned about, it gets questioned because a woman has been hurt and they just want to know what the person wants. Okay, so let's put this disclaimer out.
But I feel like, to the point you're making, I think more men probably deal with that, you know, women who is really looking for them for the materialistic thing, right? Like, what can he buy me? What can he do for me? You know, is he gonna pay all the bills? Is he gonna do, you know what I'm saying? So I think if a man was to ask that, it probably would be someone that like Mama Rosa said, probably has experienced this and was like, you know, he want to make sure he's not going down the same road, right, with the same type of woman.
Mm-hmm.
So, but let's say this though. Let's just put this out here, because this is something else I think we have to dismiss and leave in 2025. Because I am tired of this at this point. Me personally, I'm tired because it's excuse now at this point. Everybody's going, I'm hurt. I've been hurt because I've been. Who hasn't been hurt? I'm going to say it this time. How they say, I'm not gonna hold your hand when I say it. Everybody's been hurt. We all hurt. There's not a person on this earth that hasn't been hurt. Even people, babies being born right now, guess what? They hurt. Why? Because the doctor has to slap their behind when they come out. That's pain. They hurt. So we all hurt. So we can't keep using that as an excuse for these things to buffer this. Is because, oh, I'm hurt, and because I've been hurt. Baby, sir, make better choices. Let's own what we're doing.
And don't jump right into another relationship if you haven't, because you know you're responsible for your own healing. I know it takes people a while to get there, right? But I even got to the point, I think, after my last little debacle where, to me, I even said to someone, it wasn't really that I was hurt, because what does that mean, right? I'm hurt. It's because I was disappointed, right? Disappointed that the person didn't turn out to be the the person they represented themselves to be, right?
That part.
And
Mhm.
so I think sometimes we also have to think about the terminology we're using because yeah, we're hurt, but like you just said, hurt could mean a lot of things. I'm hurt because I fell and broke my wrist, right? Or I'm hurt because somebody bumped into me. So let's talk about what it really is, right? Somebody disappointed me, and part of that could have been, and I'm talking from me, part of it was they disappointed me, but I also disappointed myself because I saw the red flags that I should
Because I
have.
stayed around longer than I should have, waiting for them to
Yeah,
become who I wanted them to be. I hear Maya's voice in the back of my soul when
exactly.
someone shows you who they are.
And but
Please.
I think that's the part of it is a lot of people
I
don't
don't
take
know.
the time to heal, right? Some people are just relationship hoppers, right? They go from one relationship to another relationship to another relationship and never take the time to really figure out, let me just take a break and figure out who the hell I am, excuse my expression,
Mm-hmm.
right? And what part did I play in this relationship breakup or whatever it was, right? And because we don't do that, we do. It's like the song Erica Badu has, right? Bag Lady, right? You,
Right.
you gonna hurt your back if you don't
Carrying all this stuff. And
carry
it's like,
stuff.
but why are you still hurt?
Yeah,
Why are you still hurt? Like, how long? Like you said, Bagley, how long we gonna carry this? How long? I'm still hurt, but I'm still hurt. Like I admit, I'm one who I don't know. I mean, chat, y'all chime in. What is the one thing that pains you in relationship? I know for me, like Theo said, you hit it for me on the head. Is I realize disappointment is the one thing that's the hardest for me to get over. And being disappointed in the fact that you were not the person who I wanted you to be, who I thought you were. And then after walking it out with you, at the first signs that you starting to show that you are, because your true self shows up at some point. You know, why did I even let you get to the table? Why did I let you get past the living room to get to the table? To even, because the table is the place of negotiation. The table, I believe, is the place that we should come to when we have proven ourselves in relationship, that now we're at a point where it's time for us to come sit down and talk about what's next and what next looks like and how we get there. Not 2 weeks and 2 days in, or on the third phone conversation, you asking me what I bring to the table. What, sir? I don't want to even eat at your house. Like, what are you talking about? You know, I don't.
But for me also, right? Like when we get down to the disappointment, and I'm saying this because this is real. This is what happened with me is as I went through therapy, as I went through my healing journey, I realized that yeah, I was disappointed by the person. But a huge part of what I had to heal from and get over is being disappointed in myself, right? For allowing some of what took place, being disappointed in myself from not leaving when I probably should have been like, yo, I'm out because I deserve better than this, right? Um, and then trying to get to the point of trusting myself again, right?
Right, that part.
And right. And so when you think about all of that, then the next person you meet, like we listen, the table doesn't even have legs, right? Because I'm
The
still
table
working
doesn't have legs. It's a sled. That's it.
exactly right. Because I'm still processing some stuff. I'm still,
I
you know,
just say.
I literally the last when I finally like went back to therapy, I was like, it was all about me. It wasn't about what happened to me. Like, yeah, I acknowledged that something happened to me, but I wasn't focused on that. And the problem is that so many of us get focused on what happened to us that we really can't go through our healing journey in a way that we recognize that healing is our responsibility because one, you're not going to always get closure from what happened to you. And I'm going to just say this, even when you think you have closure, it's not closure, because if they don't say what you want to hear, right, you don't get the closure that you was looking for. So
You really have to have, I know for me, I learned how to shut stuff down within myself. I don't need anybody else's, because okay, so I feel like when you need closure from other people, you give away your power
exactly.
because you're dependent on it. First of all, why would I give you
That power.
power when you are the reason why, to some degree, 50% of the reason why I'm here hurting now?
Yeah.
Because I gave you had all the power before. So what did you do with it? You had the power to hurt me because you were inside. So why would I continue to give that to you? The same person that hurt you can't always heal you. Can't always fix you. And I'm sorry, but I'm sorry doesn't fix anything.
Nope.
You know, I apologize is an acknowledgement. But what fixes things is changed behavior. When you can, apologizing is the acknowledgement. I'm sorry is the change in behavior. Moose says exactly. And that's a hard lesson to learn. Baby, listen, I had to learn that, and the hardest person to deal with about it was myself. I tell my son all the time, like it's very rare. I'm not gonna say I don't apologize because I do. Moose says facts. Listen, now I'll say this: I will never apologize for what I said, because when I say something, I mean it. And I take my time to think about what I'm saying. So I'm never apologizing for what I said. As hard as it may be, we're going to have a hard conversation, but I'm saying what I felt, what I meant, and I stand 10 toes down on it. Now, with that being said, I may apologize for hurting your feelings in its delivery.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the delivery is wrong, but I meant what I said. Now, I tell my son since he was a kid, don't tell me you sorry. I'm so sick of sorry. You want to piss me off real quick, say I'm sorry.
Right.
I said, I want to hear sorry, because for me, if you're sorry, you think it, you count up the cost before you do the action. Not after you do it and take the risk, because you took the risk. That 50 is a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
And so you in the red now, bruh. And now you want to come with you sorry. No, you're not sorry about what you did, because you made a conscious decision doing what you were doing, all the steps that it took. You're sorry that you got caught in it. You're sorry that the results of it are not what you expected. You're sorry that I am not responding to you about what you did to me in a way that makes you feel better about it. I'm not a test dummy. You know, I'm not that. So please don't say you're sorry. And I just don't. It's not something I may say, I'm sorry for your loss, something like that. But I'm not going to, because we have to be conscious of what we're saying and doing before we say and do it. Moose says you have to repair, and a lot of people won't do it. Yeah, I'm not trying. First of all, I'm not trying to cause the wound. That's the whole thing. I'm not even trying to wound you to have to apologize for it. He says, I don't know why it's hard for people to apologize. I don't either. But again, I feel like, because when you say something to me, I'm like, I'm going to take it I take it by your words. That's what you felt, is what you meant, is where you are. In some way, shape, or form. It's either you said it because that's what you meant, or you said it because you wanted to hurt me. Neither one of those are ever going to get you back into that space. You know, so we just don't do. I just don't do it. You know, Mama says, how long do we hurt is a legitimate concern, but some people love the position being hurt puts us in, and that's true. That is true.
Some people like to be. Some people love being victims.
Absolutely. He says, oh, I disagree. What you disagree with, beloved? He says, but I get it. He says, I say sorry. He says, I know I never mean to hurt someone. And that's true. And again, that's why I'm saying, for me, I'm saying, I don't say I'm sorry, because within myself, like, this is going to be real ridiculous, but I'll be transparent with y'all. I don't even say I'm sorry to God. sometimes. And I'm being honest. I'm being 1,000%. I'm not saying I don't repent and I don't ask for forgiveness. So don't get it twisted. Understand what I'm saying in the spirit of which I'm saying it. I don't apologize because I make a conscious decision, good, bad, or indifferent, and I own it. If that's what I said, then I said it. And I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not saying that it's okay, but I'm not going to back out of it now, because now I have to deal with the results of my actions and what that caused. Again, I will apologize for the way I delivered something, but I try not to say I'm sorry, or I don't say it because I take the time ahead of time to think, because I don't want to hurt anybody.
So in your case, it's more or less you've thought about it, you've calculated before you said what you said. You knew what you were going to say, you delivered it, right? But I do think there are situations where you have people that are not as aware, right? Mm-hmm. Not as emotionally intelligent. And so sometimes they say stuff without thinking, right? And so when they say it, right, they haven't thought about what they're saying and what it may cause, which is where that I'm sorry comes in. But to the point you're making, what follows the I'm sorry, right? What's the behavior? What's the action that follows the I'm sorry?
Right. And it's the tone of the way that I'm sorry is being said.
Because if you exactly, all right.
Are you being really sincere, or are you just saying it because you see that I'm hurt? You're just saying I'm sorry because you see that I'm hurt. But are you really sorry?
Right. Because
are you saying because some people will do that sorry where I'm sorry that I said whatever, right? Where the sorry isn't really a sorry because they follow it up with something, right?
Right. I'm sorry, but what I meant to say was
exactly.
And but always cancels everything that you said before it.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm saying. I will apologize. I will apologize because I don't want to hurt anybody. And we do things that we are unaware of sometimes. So again, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that things do not warrant an apology. But when I'm making a conscious decision to do something, and I will go to God and like, God, I did it. I sure did. I enjoyed it when I did it. I know it was wrong, and I know I have to deal with the consequences of my actions. Because it was a choice that I made. Because if I'm really sorry, I'm counting up the cost before I do it. Not just for me, but who is this going to affect? Who is this affecting? And sometimes things do come out my mouth, or maybe there's an action that I've done that I am not intentionally aware of that will hurt or offend someone. And by all means, again, I apologize. Mm-hmm. I will acknowledge it. I will apologize, and I will recognize how it made them feel. And I thank you for telling me, because I don't ever want to leave anyone, wounded. So I just want to make that clear. So, y'all, but I'm just saying I'm mindful. But again, I tell my son, don't come back here with sorry and then you're doing the same thing. Because people use sorry like a band-aid and then you run off and you still do it again. They chatting in the chat. Let's see what we're saying. Kathy says, for me, communication, because how can I expect you to know how I'm feeling if I'm never really communicating with you? That is true. You got to be willing, and you have to be willing to have the hard conversations. I'm at a point in my life, and and Eric is a witness, I was shut down so fast, I would not see nothing. I'd be like, I don't even know the level of cold that would be on the other side of cold within the cold, where you don't even feel nothing. That's how cold it is. Like, that's when I shut down, that's how I get. I am no longer that way. I'm reformed. But you say we can't hear you, sir.
Jay used to do the. Well, I just want to ask. No. Just turn around and walk. Just go. I'm trying to save you. Just go.
It's not good. Yeah. But I've learned how to Kathy's point, communicate, have the hard conversations, be open to hearing some things that I may not want to hear. I'm open to hearing things that are definitely going to offend me. But I have to think about it, because in relationship, we're not here on our own.
Nope.
And so if something that I'm used to doing is offending you, I have to be open to hearing it. And I can't come with the excuse, using this as an excuse, not a reason, to say, well, I'm just accustomed to doing it that way, and I'm just used to doing it this way. Or, the better way is, I hear you. I understand where you're coming from. I did not mean to offend you by what I did. I've always, previously, I always did it this way.
Yeah.
I understand I have to learn a new way of doing this. Just be patient.
When you're communicating with your significant other, some people like to be hyped up when they're communicating, and then your point is not being heard or getting across because you're talking loud. You're trying to talk over that person instead of just getting down. Be like, well, listen, I apologize. I was out of control. I was out of line. I sincerely apologize. I'm working on myself to get myself on another level to where I'm at right now, and so forth. And hopefully you'll rock.
When you care, you have to stop. It is not about self. It's no longer just me. It's us now. And I need to be able to show you that it's not just me. You're not just here for my entertainment and my usage, but I'm trying to build. Help me develop a new habit. Moose says, but I know that if I do, I am truly sorry because it's not my intention. And I'm with you again. I will definitely acknowledge. And he said, I believe in karma. Yeah. That's why I said I get it. I appreciate that, beloved. He says, but I have been married to someone before that believed believed the same and never ever apologized for the hurt I received from them. Now, see, that's where it differs a little. That's what I'm saying. For me, I'm not big on saying I'm sorry. I will apologize if I did something that hurts you. I will acknowledge that. But for me, the key is doing the work up front. I never want to do something that's going to hurt you because I'm here to protect you. So I'm going to mind my behavior. I'm going to guard my actions up front so that we never have to have that offense to begin with. And if and when I slip, I will definitely apologize. I will definitely apologize and do my best to make sure that does not happen again. And it's not that and again, don't get me wrong, y'all. It's not that it's above me. I'm not above anyone. It's not that I'm above saying I'm sorry or apologizing, but I'm being truthful about why and the space that it comes from. Because for me, I'm very sensitive and protective of the people in my life and those I love. So I'm going to do the work up front to make sure I don't put you in a position to be hurt. If that means I have to bite my tongue, go get myself together until I can come and have the conversation with you in another way. Because I'm never going to speak venom to you. I'm never going to call you out your name. It's just things that I'm just not going to do because that's not what we in partnership for. That's not how we come to the table.
But to the point, like the whole conversation, right, is also where we at? Because if it's not a partnership, if we haven't been in a relationship, we haven't been walking this path together, all of this is mute, right? Like, why we don't because if it's early on, I'm looking at the offense and determining if it's going to go beyond this point to where we even put labels on the table.
Because we're still on the sled. But this is what I'm saying. This is why the table is the place of negotiation. This is the space, like in relation to what Moose is saying. This is the space where we come because we've gotten to that point where we agree we want to take our relationship to that next level. So let's come to the table now. We understand we're coming to this table of negotiation of relationship. Defining, putting the framework in as to what this relationship is. This is where we have the conversation of how do you fight when you're mad? What does that look like? How do you show up when you're angry? Are you aware of how you show up when you're angry? Can you admit, how do you receive an apology? What does an apology look like to you? Because it's not just about, like, you guys were saying before, like Eric said, the tone of it. If I hurt you and I'm just like, yeah, I'm sorry. Cutting you off before you have a chance to finish saying what you're even saying.
But like Moose said, like, is it a sincere apology?
Right.
Like, Because for me, honestly, like Moose believes in karma. I believe in Romans 12:19. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. I will repay you. So
Let's see. Mom says everyone might not like what we bring to the table, but I'm bringing cornbread. You know what? I can't with this lady.
listen,
Fell into that.
but listen, but
She said she bring cornbread and stuff in next Thursday. Now I don't know if y'all gonna get no cornbread because cornbread is my favorite. Now y'all can have the corner sides, but the middles is mine. Okay.
Mine, she said next Thursday. Thanksgiving ain't next Thursday.
exactly.
But don't worry about. She's coming to my house next Thursday. Don't worry about. She's bringing next Thursday. Don't worry about that.
And see, and at least she's bringing a cornbread to a table that has legs on it.
Because we're not having a sled. We're not having a sled situation.
Exactly.
Who says, I think if an honest apology is received, then I'm good because it lets me know I'm safe with you. Exactly. And that for me is the point.
That's the important part.
You know, I really don't, and again, not, bouncing, but Eric knows because we've been in a relationship. Like I guard the person that I'm with. And not that we've been perfect, one that we are divorced and one that he's remarried and wonderful. I love you, Tasha. Not that either one of us is perfect, but we had maybe one argument in the bajillion year relationship that we had. And I think he can vouch that I've never called him out his name. I've never talked down to him. I've never belittled him. I've never done any of those things, no matter how angry I am or frustrated with a situation. It is not my objective. It's not there's certain words that are just not in my vernacular when it comes to you. So I'm never going to say something to you that's going to hurt you that I have to apologize for. But again, it does not mean I will not offend you. And when I offend you, I surely will apologize because I don't even want to know that I hurt you in that way. Moose says not apologizing is a good way for me to walk away from a person in a heartbeat. And I hear you. Like, again, saying I'm sorry is one thing, but I will apologize, and I will acknowledge, I will recognize, because it's not where you want to be. He said, facts, you got to change, do the work and repair. Exactly. He says, I'm a communicator. I want to know your thoughts, your moves, and I want you to want that of me too. And in that process, we can definitely hurt each other unintentionally. Now, that's a good point. There's grace in the space of unintentional hurting. And that's what I'm saying. Like, there will be times where we will offend each other as we're growing. Mm-hmm. But how we, like you said earlier, Moose, how we do the work to fix and repair it.
That's it.
Is key. To let us know that we gotta establish. For me, I have to establish up front that this is a safe space for us to make mistakes. Like, you're not gonna leave me because I didn't get it right, or you're not gonna leave me because when you see me trying. I don't know. Look, it's the first time we're ever in this space together. The first time I'm in a relationship with you. The first time you're in a relationship with me. So we have to figure out how this works, how we work together, as we do when we get to that point of bringing stuff to the table. Now this is all the stuff that's on the table. How do we take everything that you brought and put on the table, and everything I brought and put on the table, and how do we make it our own? How do we build from here? What does that look like? And we have to make sure that safety is a part of that, because we gotta say, and this is where y'all know I always say, being committed to the commitment of you. I'm committed to the commitment of being with you. Whatever that comes with. I don't know what it comes with, but I'm committed to it. I'm committed to finding out, and I'm committed to working it out. And when we do that, see, I think that when it comes to the unintentional hurt, the beautiful thing about it is that when we can hug it out together at the end. You know what I'm saying? Because you are acknowledging together that, whether it's you acknowledging that I was hurt or I'm acknowledging that you were hurt, and we talk it out We figure out what happened here, and we have a plan to avoid it from happening again. And then we hug it out. That,
But also, if you don't take responsibility, right, for the hurt, right?
Mhm.
Um, in my last situation, right, it's like the person, I don't even know if they apologized, but it was like they tried to make it seem like it was my fault, right? Like I was ruining their next relationship when they had started cheating on me. Right? So now it's like you mad at me, right? And so I think, take responsibility for what you did to me, right? I'm not even if you're not gonna apologize, acknowledge that no, you did the wrong,
Mhm.
right? I got the receipts, I got the evidence, right? But because you feel like because now you feel like I'm messing up this new, no, you messed up the new thing because you started another relationship
Right.
with a lie.
Right.
Right. So I think that's the thing, right? For me, I need you to take accountability for it. Cause I've learned, especially now, right? I mean, through that journey, I've learned how to take responsibility for my own healing, right? Before that, I probably was in the space of, oh, I'm looking for closure, I'm looking for whatever. But then that journey, I was like, yo, you responsible for your own healing, little girl.
But I think that has a lot to do with, again, just doing that acknowledgement that you're talking about. For me, do the work on the front end.
Yeah, like
But you don't have to end up. Why would you want to hurt the one you love? Why would you want to?
exactly.
And a lot of us go into relationship situations really not caring about safety and protection and acknowledgement of hurt or wrong with the person that we're involved with, because we're going into it for us. We're going into it asking them, what are you bringing to the table? Instead of saying, this is what I'm bringing to the table, and being honest.
But I'm like that. But even that question, like, what are we talking about? I know it's a metaphor for the relationship, but how about we're two people getting to know each other, getting to learn about each other, getting to figure out how we're going, if we even want to take this to the level of where we want to get to know each other, to where there even is a table.
The table to even come to, right? It's a space of negotiation. Moose says, and how you respond when that happens tells me a lot about you and us. Exactly. How you respond. Listen, fix it. Fix it. If you say you can't fix it, I am so, babe, I apologize. I did not realize. I did not mean to. I was not aware that me doing this was making you feel this way. How long have I been making you feel this way? Please tell me at the onset. Like, I promise I won't be offended. If I seem a little hurt, it's because I'm hurt that I hurt you. That's how I feel. That's how I am. Like, I'm more hurt that I hurt you than it is. I'd rather you tell me, like, don't not say anything and let me keep doing it. Don't not say anything hoping that I automatically fix it, or just shift. Like, no, it's okay. We're in this space of, we are learning each other. It's the iron sharpening iron. So that we can both be smooth in this space. Welcome in, Harlem girl. Good to see you. Says, or how long someone holds on to anger. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one. How long do you hold on to anger? My goodness. That's something we need to talk about. Where? At the table. Chelsea says, apology is good, but accountability offers change. True. Y'all are chatting tonight. I love this. Said, if you don't show concern for my hurt, and want to walk through it, even if it turns out my perception was wrong, right? There's a way to gracefully handle that. To me, when that happens, and that's on both sides, whether it's me being in that space of my perception being wrong, or you being in the space of your perception being wrong. The graceful way to handle that for me, I feel, in my opinion, is through reassurance. For whatever it is that's causing you to see something this way, I'm not gonna. I don't know how to convince you otherwise, but I have to change my behavior and address you in a graceful way that reassures you that, babe, I did not. I don't want you to feel like that. How can I show you the situation through different eyes?
I mean,
You
I
know,
think that's a hard one though, because you both have to kind of come to the understanding, like Kathy said, of communicating, because you might get to the point where neither one of you believe your perception was wrong, right? So how do we walk away from this? How do we resolve this without leaving either one of us hurt or wounded?
I think what say you, Eric? Because you sitting there pondering, you quiet.
Oh no, I'm listening. And
Like that's the thing for me. Like, I know for me, right? I'm usually like, and that's why I think what Kathy says is important, right? You need to communicate, right? Because one, the person shouldn't be a mind reader and try to think about, right, what you're thinking, how you're feeling, but also your partner needs to know who you are, right? And not saying that I want to avoid the conversation, but for me, I know that sometimes you have to give me a minute, because I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to raise my voice. I'm not that person.
Yeah.
When I talk to you, I'm going to talk to you. My word, I know my words sting, right? So I'm going to have to sit back and make sure that when I'm ready to have this conversation, I'm not going to say anything that's going to hurt you. Because I could say some stuff and, right? And I'll be like, oh, right? Right? So for me, sometimes it's like, give me a minute, right? Let me process this. Let me think about this. Let me express how you made me feel. But I want to do that in a way that my words are not going to chop you up.
Right. And I know my tongue is sharp. So that's why I said, for me, I have to do the framework up front in the beginning that doesn't put me in a position where I'm hurting you. So I have to say, I'm sorry. Again, my words might be heavy, but they are never with jagged edges. What say you, Eric? Because you look like you got something to say.
But you're mature enough to know that's what you need to do. Where you have a lot of people that are not mature enough to think the way that you're thinking.
That's it.
So
and that's the point right there.
Yeah, it's a hard thing, but it's sincerity. So you have to be able when you're apologizing, you have to say that with sincerity.
Yeah. And you have to think about whether or not, like, do I want to apologize? I hate to say it like that, but because we're talking about a table, right?
Right.
Talking about being at a table, right? That are we at opposite ends of the table? Like, you sitting on this side of the table and I'm sitting on this side of the table, and then a long room? Are we across from each other? Are we sitting next to each other? Like, what is the position on the table? Like, there's all of this kind of stuff. Because did we even get to the point where we're gonna expend all of this energy, right? Figuring out whether we hurting you or not.
Well, I think it really that's another thing. Depends on where you at in the relationship.
That's my point.
Because, again, just the point of coming to the table as a whole is a place we have to get to.
Yeah, but that's my point. That's why that question so early on doesn't really. I don't want to say that.
Crazy, right? I'm like, I don't know what I'm bringing to the table because I don't know what you need yet. I don't know. But when we take the time, like if you take the time to learn a person, when we take the time, be patient in learning one another so that you don't even have to ask. You won't even have to ask.
Yeah,
what do you bring to the table? Because I will see.
We don't even have to ask that question.
But see, that's that new generation. Where did this coming? What are you bringing to the table? Who thought of this?
Yeah, like that's.
You know what? A lot of that comes from and I say this in this way, wounded women teaching younger women. Because they're already sending them out here on the defense, wanting to know, again, Janet Jackson, what have you done for me lately? Like what are you going to do? And it leads to the point of the expectation of what a man is supposed to bring into your life. We shared, there was a clip going around, I think I shared it earlier, about what a man provides. And if the only thing that you think a man is supposed to provide is something that can be bought with money, then you've never been provided for a day in your life. Men are not just limited to a dollar sign and a wallet. Provision begins with covering. When you're talking about safety, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, talking about comfort and love and great, and vice versa. But a lot of women have this mentality of, what are you bringing to the table? Because it's about me. If I can't come into your life and see where I can serve you, I have to have a vision for how I fit into your life, as well as you having a vision of how, as well as you having a vision as to how I fit in.
Yeah.
When we come to the table, for me, is I need to hear, well, all right, I'm telling myself. I always do. Why do I always get to this point where I'm telling myself? Anyways, at this point in life, I'm like, for me, as I need to hear, listen, this is what I see you to be in my life. Not this is what I see you can do for me, because I can do a lot of things for you. I can be very resourceful to you and for you. But that does not mean that I have a place in your life. That means that you're using me like it's a job, like it's the I'm fulfilling a task. But when you say, this is what you add, this is what you bring, this is where I see that I need you, in my life, and not it being necessarily tangible things all the time. I need to be able to come to the table and say, listen, I see you, and this is what I want to add to you. This is what I want to bring. This is what I want to help support you in. I see that you need encouragement in these spaces. Like, baby, you got it. You could do it. Yep. How we want to do it? This what you want to do that? Okay. So how can we do it? So listen, this is what I'm saying. Tell me what you're thinking. I want to be able to show up in your life being that wind beneath your wings, that wind in your sail, that voice behind you that pushes you. If I can't do that for you, if I don't see that I have that effect in you, that my presence, just our conversation makes a difference, then for me, it's a no-go. We're not getting to no table. You're not even, you be in the foyer. You might not even make it to the living room, but you definitely not going to get to the table, because what are we coming to the table for at that part? If there's no vision for me in your life and no vision for you in my life, then, what are we here for? Moose also says, I want to know that, and I want to learn you and me, and I want to know that, and I want to learn you and me and us. And I love that, because people are not willing, again, to take the time to get to know each other, so that you can learn me, I can learn you, and we are learning us. That takes time. Stop worrying, because if we do that, we already know what's coming to the table.
Right.
And what's known, what's understood doesn't need to be explained. Like, we can get to the table and start building. Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of table we doing? Because I don't want no oak table. I like cherry mahogany wood. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would know that. You already know that, because we've done the work up front. Moose says, exactly. He says, you're right, Theo. Responsibility and accountability. That is it. He said, manipulation. I'm catching with the comments. Flipping it is evil. It sure is. It absolutely is. Harlem Girl says, I can be submissive to a man that can lead, but if he's leading in the wrong direction, I will remove myself and take the peace which I once offered.
Exactly.
And I love that too. My only caveat to that is, when I see you leading, if you're him, because this is another thing, like if you him, and I see you leading in the wrong direction, or in the wrong way, I don't think I should leave you out there to keep going in the wrong direction. But I have to know how to talk you back to get you back in the right direction.
You want to course correct.
Right. I have to, we have to be able to do that. And men have to be able to receive that. And I think that that's one of the ways that we know. Now, if you're not him, then bro, listen, you carry on, because
I think it all comes down to that, right? It's always going to come back to that, right? Because some of us are going to be willing to course correct for the right person. But if that's not your person, you might be like, you know what? Deuces. I'm gonna go over here and
and then be like, this was a teachable moment. See you later.
Exactly.
Because this is the wrong direction for me. It may not be the wrong direction for you, but it's the wrong direction for me. And I think submission comes easy. We keep, everybody acts like it's a big curse word. Submission comes easy when you're with the right person for you. Submission is not even an issue. You naturally submit to one another.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. It's a submission to each other.
Yeah. All right, Moose. He says, love y'all, this convo series. Joining the real ones. Okay. All right. I'll see you in a bit. We'll hop over there. Y'all, if you are on TikTok, hop over to TikTok at 9:00. Not right now, but 9:00. The real ones is going to be on. They are the dope poetic group that came on, and they will be back. That Moose is a part of AJW, Juggling Mommy, Lily the Diva. That's my fam. They will be over on TikTok tonight at 9:00, sharing in their space, doing exactly what they do best. So he's gonna go gather himself. Thank you for your shares, Moose. I love them. I love you, beloved. I'll see you in a bit. Mommy says, but in all honesty, 2025 relationships are made up with two desensitized, selfish, broken, and scared people. A lot of them are, and that's why we keep asking this question of like, what do you bring into the what do you bring to the table? Because everybody's coming wanting to get without giving.
Right.
A lot of times.
It's a give and take situation.
Yeah, you give and I take.
Right.
And that's not the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be the ebbs and flows. Like we're supposed to balance each other out. Harlem Girl says, go ahead, E.
I'm giving to you, and then I'm standing there. You take it, and then I'm standing there like,
you like what? You're like, what's happening? What are you giving? Yeah, like what about me? What about me?
And you're like, bye. Okay, thanks. See you next time.
What happened? I gave 2 weeks ago. How you not giving back? What's going on? Is that a sign?
We talking about the table tonight, y'all. We are talking, welcome in for those who, I'm sorry, y'all, we got so caught up in the conversation, but we are talking about this concept of the table. When people ask, what do you bring to the table? And my thought is, in this season, we don't need to be asking, what do you bring to the table? The question is, what is the table for? Why do we have this table? Because if you understand what this table is for, you will know what to bring. Because we know what's needed. What is it designed for? And the table being the relationship. What are you bringing into this space that can benefit us? I don't even want to say benefit me. What are you bringing into this space that benefits us? Before I read the rest of the comments, let me just, because I missed this whole part. When I was looking up what this really refers to and what it means, it says the point of what do you bring to the table is really referring to making a valuable contribution to a group, company, or individual. Okay, it says to offer something that will be an advantage. Refers to what each person contributes to a partnership. This is the thing that we are missing. What each person contributes to a partnership. Not a sole propriety relationship where it's just me and you're just doing, but it's a partnership. We are both bringing something. We are both bringing not just anything, but things that are valuable contributions to the table. It's not just your wallet. It's not just your body. You know, we have to come with more than that. The table is a place to discuss. People aren't coming to discuss anymore. Table is a place to talk out the conditions of the relationship. It's where we're bringing people to the table that have no business being even at the table. Why bring you to a table if I'm not trying to feed you or serve you? When you go, that was my thing. When you go to a restaurant, they sit you at a table and the server comes to do it. The waiter comes to do it. The employee comes to serve you and feed you. Serve you so you can eat. Why would I invite someone to a table if I have no interest in serving you and in giving you substance that is going to better you? Why would you go to a table, or why would I accept an invitation to a table from someone who has no ability to feed me or even the willingness to serve me? These are the things I believe we have to start thinking of. You know, when we're talking about this table, this relationship space that we're in, and understanding that it's about partnership. Partnership means we're in this together, not just one person. Harlem Girl says, a woman's silence is her power. It gives her the opportunity to observe the situation. So when she does speak, wisdom will come out of her mouth. I would hope that that's a lot of women who use their silence in that vein. But I can agree there are some women that do use silence in that way. Harlem Girl also says many relationships think it's a battle between each other, but in a relationship you are to become one flesh, understanding that it's purpose over matter, and that is true. That is true. Again, that's that partnership. You know, we're talking about. Kathy says, in order to stand on a level ground in a relationship, it requires an understanding of each other's good days and bad days and ugly days, and still be able to wake up in the morning and make it a better day. I love that. Again, talking about partnership and what real partnership looks like. It doesn't mean that, you know, we're only in it on the days when we're making a profit. You know, it means that we're in it when we're in the red. We still, you know, we're not abandoning ship because it's a bad day. We still got to be able to look at each other after that. Staying committed to the commitment. Harlem Girl says, love is sacrifice. There is. It is. Love is sacrifice, and being willing to do so, that's part of what love is. So what do you think?
I think it just takes me back to the point that all of this that we're talking about, love being a sacrifice, good days, bad days, all of that, that's a relationship, that's a partnership. So we're at the table, right? None of this is happening as we walk to the table or we put legs on the table, right? Like, and so I guess the question is really, how soon should you be at the table?
Well, first off, let's talk about this table.
Yeah, yes, let's like
no, we're gonna talk about this table.
No, for real.
Because now it's 8:30, so we're gonna talk about this table.
No.
So a table comes with 4 posts.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got 3 fingers up. I'm just playing.
Oh, he had 4.
I was just playing.
4 posts. It comes with its slab, its top. It comes with its screws and brackets to hold it in place.
Now, is it a wooden table or a glass table?
Doesn't make a difference. Doesn't make a difference. Stand my point. Because when you get a table, it comes in a box.
That's what I think, Harlem Girl.
When you get a table, it comes in a box.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to carefully take out take out those pieces and lay them on the floor along with your diagram, because you have to make sure that you know how to put this table together. As it's laying on the floor, you're starting at the bottom and working your way up. And that's the way a relationship is supposed to be. You're supposed to work, you're supposed to start at the bottom and
Exactly.
work your way up. You put one leg at a time on this table. You're making sure that it's screwed in tightly because you do not want this table to fall apart. And after you complete your fourth post and you secure those screws, what do? You shake the table to make sure that it's sturdy, to make sure that it's not going to fall apart when you have people come to your table to sit down. And that's the way relationships are supposed to be. You're supposed to be able to have a sturdy relationship to make sure that it does not fall apart. But a lot of people don't understand that. And your mentality has to grow in order to understand what it means when it says, well, what do you bring it to the table? And or well, let's unpack the table and see. Let's unpack this table together and see.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a great analogy for the person that doesn't wait for the delivery person to bring the table and put
It,
the
I,
table together.
I didn't say the table. I didn't say the table had to wait. You had to wait for the delivery person to bring the table.
So
Well,
we
if
talking
you,
about a table that you putting together yourself.
okay, so
Go and get
So
the
let's
table
talk
together
about that.
and bring the table and put it together.
but wait,
Yeah.
since we're there, if you're talking about getting somebody else to come in and help put the table together, that's you inviting people into your business, into your relationship.
Exactly. So,
That is, you don't because
but that's also what so many people do.
if you don't understand the instructions, because ain't nobody else sitting at this table but the two of y'all. I don't need the delivery person. This is you. See, the first thing that came to my mind when you said that's cheating. You know what I'm saying? Because we supposed to be building this together. I done solicited outside help to come in and help me build the table with you. What are we doing? Then why am I with you? I need to be with the person who knows how to build the table.
Well, what if it's the Holy Spirit helping you put the table together?
But that's different. That's different. That's a whole different that's a different kind of help. But when you talk about you waiting for the delivery man, there's a process. Drop the box out the door. Look at here. Okay, Harlem Girls she's asking who holds the table in place. She said,
both of you.
helper. This is what we talking about. She says, that's you pouring into that woman. She says, again, that's you pouring and showing the pour into that woman. He said the delivery of the table comes from God. Well, I think, God gives us the pieces. He gives us the pieces to the table. He gives us everything that we need. Everything you need is in that box.
Correct.
And you don't need this. See, this is good stuff. You don't need anybody. It's like the escape room.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need anybody outside coming to help you to put the table together. You don't. That's not the point of it. You can. Now we all need guidance, but that's what the instruction booklet is for.
What the instructions are for.
And we should be able to come together. Welcome in, Paris. How you doing, sis? She says, good evening, all. I see you acting up without me. I'm pulling up a chair to this table and watching the drama unfold. Come on in. It's 8:30. You know it's the cut up hour. Harlem Girl says, who holds the table up, sis? You do. I think that it depends. It depends on I say it depends because this is where the communication comes in. What role do I need to play right now? Do I need to hold the table up now so that you can screw the legs in? Or are you holding the table up now because it's maybe a little heavier, or maybe it's something that's more your expertise? Maybe I don't know how to use the screwdriver and you are a master toolsman. You know what I'm saying? This is where communication comes in for us to figure out, again, as Eric said earlier, about how we match up. And I was talking about sometimes balance is not always us matching up. Balance is contrast sometimes, because what's the point of both of us knowing how to hold the table up, but nobody knows how to screw in the nuts and bolts?
First off, Now, you're not holding the table up. You're turning that table upside down and you're putting the legs on while the table is upside down. After you put that table together, then both of y'all together are going to flip that table over to make sure that it's balanced the way that it's supposed to be balanced.
But even in the making, sometimes when you turn that table upside down, somebody has to hold that leg in place because guess what? Sometimes those screws are a little tricky to get in. So it's hard to hold the leg in place and screw it in at the same time if you have that help to make it more stable, to hold it in place. Are you going to hold it in place? Are you going to hold it in position? Are you going to stand your ground while I'm figuring out the issue, or while I'm figuring out how to correct the error, or while I'm figuring it out? Or are you going to get frustrated and just leave me to do it on my own?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like how we oh wait, hold on, because they chatting in the chat. Paris says, God is the legs of the table. Y'all can be the main piece to dine on. I'm just saying. Well, I mean, that's one way to think about it. If that's what works for you, you know, I would want God to be that's a whole nother story for another time. Let's see what else is being said. Said this panel is looking mighty good tonight. Sir Eric is stepping up his swag in his turtleneck. We see you, Lord Jesus. Oh, the girl says God is the foundation of the table. That man keeps the table strong, and his wife keeps it from falling. Okay, and that's I agree with all of that, and I do. You know, I get everyone's perspective, and I just want to add, since we're in that space, that yes, whatever your moral compass is, for us is God. So that's why we refer to that, because our audience is of multi cultures and beliefs and just different. We everybody. It's just we love everybody. Everybody's part of Bravo. So whatever your moral compass is, that's what you put in that place. As we refer to God is our foundation. God is our legs. You know, but He's already equipped us with what we need in order to be able to stand. Now he's the directions sometimes, because we need a map on how to figure out how do we make this work. You know, how do you make it work with someone that you don't know?
So I'm just glad that this is all a metaphor, because honestly, the whole what you bring to the table thing for me is like, I'm just tired of the cliches, because honestly, the tables I have, they don't have legs. They don't have 4 legs.
You got a sled?
No. One of my tables has a big block that a glass sits on it, right? Another one, this is a round little thing, has no legs. So I appreciate the metaphors. But I just go back to, you know, at the end of the day, like Eric said, let's think about what's the table? What table are we talking about? Because for me, there are so many cliches out here that I think people throw around, and it distracts us from having the real conversations, right? There's so many cliches. So yeah, if someone like, as I prepare to come outside, as you want me to come outside, right?
I do. I want you to come outside. This is part of why we have a conversation.
Because I'm gonna be like, listen, bro. We not talking about what anybody is bringing to the table. Now, if you want to talk about, if you want to have an intelligent conversation about who we are, what our visions are, you know, if we even should get to the point of putting legs on your table,
right?
Let's talk about that. But don't ask me when I first meet you what you bringing to the table. Because honestly, let me worry about what I'm bringing to the table, and you worry about what you bring into the table, and then let's figure out if what we bring into the table together can build a bigger table.
But again, you didn't even get to the table yet. You didn't even get in the room. You didn't even get to my building. You didn't even know my address. So why are you worried about the table?
And when you get, if you get here, my tables don't have legs.
You stand out on the corner talking about, well, how come we can't go upstairs? Why can't we have this conversation right here?
I can hear you just fine.
You know, but it's cool. Why can't I just come upstairs?
Paris said, when I came in, it was sounding a bit risky. I had to figure out the metaphors. LOL. The screws, legs, etc. My eyebrows were raised for a second. Paris, that's your posture every Thursday night. Every Thursday night, you come here, you don't know what. She concerned every Thursday night, but I'll be so glad she's here.
I feel like Eric gave
You
the
would have to
best
try to
analogy.
figure out stuff as she come in on time.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I feel like Eric gave the best analogy, right? Of building like from the ground up, right? Because it just gets us back to the point that you're talking about, right? There's so much that has to happen before you even get to the table, before you even know my address, before you even know where I live. Hell, you might not even know if I have a place to live, right? Like till you know all of that, right? There's so much that comes in between this table that these people want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Right before you even listen, it's the craziest thing. It's like, why are you? But you know, when you're asking like, what do you bring to the table? My thing, obviously, you can see what I bring, something that I bring to the table because you're over here talking to me.
Right.
And that's the thing. What made you come over here and ask me what I'm bringing to the table?
Right.
What even made you want to even ask me that question?
Right. Why do you care what I'm bringing to the table? Like, how do you know? I love. For me, it is the point of all right, so this is one of the things I wrote down. It was so what do we bring to the table? What do we bring? We bring the things we need to build. That's part of the problem. People don't want to build. They want something already constructed. People don't want to put the work in. I've heard it said, I don't bring anything to the table because I am the table. It's like, you know what? And that's the point too. But for me, in a relationship or in that relationship space, look, hold on, they're chatting in the chat. Mama says, great show, y'all. Hope somebody finds the table and that it really does have legs. If we don't have legs, it's a sled. If you ask me, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Paris says, don't let that turtleneck make you act up, Eric. We know you're feeling better. But watch yourself. Listen, y'all find it out. But for me, the thing is this: when we're talking about the table, where was I in my quote? Okay, so what do we bring to the table? We bring the things we need to build the relationship, so everything is laid out, and we can see what we have, can see what we need, and we can see what we lack, so we can determine what to build and how to build it. So I'm not trying to come into it with some preset table already put together and all of that. Because again, to me, that means that I'm bringing all my stuff from the past with me. That means I haven't left any room for you to be a participant in this partnership. That means, you may not like my table, the color of my table, so now I have to compromise and paint this table this color where I like this table this color. Why take myself or why take ourselves through that when we can start with a clean slate, as we should? I don't know what I'm bringing to this table yet because we haven't built it yet. That's my new response. I don't know. Because we haven't built the table yet. But I will tell you this, I will bring to this table what we need in order to make it healthy and sturdy so that we can have the support we need for it to last throughout every storm.
Well, how about let me figure out if I want to build a table with you?
Well, that's my ending point. Because for me, it was, I'm going to bring all of that. That's what I'm bringing. But it may not be with you.
Yeah, like
who's to say?
I might be bringing all of this to the table, but you might not be the one that's helping me build the table. That part.
Paris says, yes, we can build. Ooh, let's go get the lumbar together and some tools. See what I'm saying?
And where we going? Are you a Lowe's person or a Home Depot person?
I said, okay, I hear you, pearl dripping lady B. I feel you on your perspective. Oh. I'm just, because
We're going to get the lumber and the tools, but I might want to go to Lowe's and you might want to go to Home Depot.
and that's the point of communication. Who's to say this is
himself.
okay? It's the season of all or nothing for me. So it's like, who's to say we can't hit both? Why do we have to choose? Lowe's, let's go to Lowe's for what Lowe's has best. If they have the better prices and better quality, let's go there. Oh, and then let's go to Home Depot for what Home Depot has that can serve us in both spaces. And it's not compromise. That's communication. And
I
that's
was going to say, so we keep getting back to Kathy, communication.
And that should be one of the main things that is brought. So, because there is no table without communication.
Exactly, because we have to even talk about if we're building a table.
All right, and if we're building it together, I'm building the table. It just may not be with you, but I'm building the table. Paris says, what is wrong with shopping around and what works for both of us? That's the whole thing.
No, that's the whole thing. We have to communicate to get to that point.
And it's partnership. This is about partnership. It's not just about doing it your way because this is what you're used to. And it's okay, your brands that work for you. I know mine that work for me. But I can definitely turn you onto something that you did not know, just like you can turn me onto something that I did not know. And we are both now, again, here we go back to that matching up. Our contrast is creating that ebbs and flows where we're student and learner. We are feeding one another something we did not know.
And we're learning from one another because I might be able to tell you, like you said, let's go to Lowe's because Lowe's has this particular thing at this price and they're better able, whereas Home Depot has this, right? It is a process where you're learning, where you're communicating, where you're talking, where you're figuring out, right? Paris says she wants a picnic table.
But you know what? But again, that was the point.
But I'm with her because I will honestly say, I told my therapist, I said, listen, when I start dating again, we gonna have a session with you, right?
But that's important. That's again, it's a part of communicating. It's a part of partnership. It's a part of support. And look, what is this table for? And that's how and I said it in the promo. We asking this question about when I bring it to the table. Well, what is this table for? If it's the dessert table, then I can tell you what dessert I'm bringing. If it's the table where the sodas add the juice, whatever it is, then I can tell you what kind of juice I'm going to bring.
Is it a long table or is it a round table? Is it a square table? Is it it's like all...
And we can decide shapes and sizes and all of that afterwards. But what is this table for? What is the vision is the question. Is it, when we think about it in that way, is what is the vision of this relationship? What are we building towards? What are we building for? And then I can tell you what skills of mine I can bring that's going to help us get there. And I can tell you what skills of mine that need sharpening, that I need some grace and some patience with, that are not maybe so helpful right now, but I'm willing to learn. It has to be about purpose. You have to understand up front, what is the purpose of this? Again, why are you asking me about what I bring to the table if you have no interest in serving me or feeding me, helping me grow at the table? What?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm not liking this table thing too much.
Paris says, yes, purpose. Yeah. Who wants to be someplace where it's not purposeful? Who wants to be in an empty relationship? Who wants to just go through the motions of things? Nobody really does, but we do. And then we try to make it, like we said earlier, I'm trying to make you into what I want you to be. However, next at my picnic table, people wearing them don't act right. I'm brown. You know what? It has been a great conversation tonight.
So I have a question. In all of your notes, right? In all of your notes, did it say anything about I can't.
Now he's doing the Bazooka Joe. Now he's Bazooka Joe.
I'm sorry.
Starting with me. Listen.
Uh, uh, so all of your notes, right? In all seriousness, does it talk about the process getting to the table?
It does not talk about. I didn't pull up and look into the process of getting to the table.
I can't. The turtleneck thing.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but no, for it's all seriousness, right? Because I think when it comes down to it, we all know this is a metaphor. We all know that, but we all know that there takes work to get to that table.
Right, and that is one of the other main points for people to think about. You know, when we're jumping into this point, because some people just get. I don't know why. Some people just get excited about the question. Some people get offended by the question. What you say, Eric?
Let me say this. The first process of getting to that table is introduction. That's the first. You got to introduce yourself in order for you to talk about the table or to get invited to the table. You have to be able to approach that person and introduce yourself. It's an introduction.
Yeah. But you have to introduce yourself not in a way that Dawn is saying some people introduce themselves, which is after a week, they were like, well, you bring it to the table. No.
Right.
Introduce yourself, and now there's a period. There's like a
getting to know you. There's
right.
not a getting to know you.
You can
HR language, right? We got the probationary period. We got the evaluation period. You know.
It's time. It's time. And this is Paris asking, how long before we have the table discussion? Weeks, months? Is there pressure? And this is what I'm saying. It varies for people. I think it depends on. I can't say, after 6 weeks, it's time to have the table discussion. Can't say that.
For some people, it might be because some people believe in that love at first sight stuff.
Right, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm saying for me, I would never tell anyone that it's a specific time. After 6 weeks, you have the table conversation, because in those 6 weeks, I could have talked to you 4 times. I could have seen you twice. To me, it depends on, and that's another. I think we put too much emphasis on how long or how short something's going to be. Connection matters. It matters on how you connect. Everybody doesn't need to be emotionally stimulated every day, all day. Some people do. It is how you flow together, how you connect. What is your vibe like? Are you being able, how comfortable are you? Is it a safe space? Do the things that matter the most to you show up in the relationship that is building? Because you're forever building. I don't care. Eric just got married in February. Him and Tasha together for 10 years. Guess what? For 10 years before that, and then I didn't mean to put your business out there like that, Eric. But I'm saying, now they're husband and wife. They've known each other since junior high school, but there's still a learning. For as much as they knew each other, there's still a learning, because now as husband and wife, we have a totally different connection now. Our foundation is built, but now we have a different level of responsibility. So we have to always be willing to come back to the table to figure out what we need now. Is this table still serving us as needed? And if not, then we need to be able to talk about, okay, well, what kind of table do we need going forward? So that time that it takes to figure out having the table discussion is going to depend on how your relationship builds and grows. Some people do believe in love at first sight. And listen, I'm like, go for it. I'm not mad at you.
That's wonderful. Some people, think about it.
Even love at first sight, we still got to learn each other afterwards. I may love you at first sight, but I still got to spend the next few years learning you.
But I was going to say, as long as you're in a relationship, you're continuing to, if you are growing and evolving, you're learning each other. You're constantly learning each other. and that's where you have to know how to pivot, right? You need to know, you need to learn, like, there's going to be times in your relationship when you need to pivot. It goes back to, are you committed to the commitment? If I lose my job today, right? Are you going to be like, I'm out, right? If I get sick and I can no longer perform in the bedroom, are you going to be out? If I have an illness and I gain a whole bunch of weight, are you going to leave? Like, those are all the things that you have to think about, because you never know what's going to happen as you're growing and evolving in a relationship. So you're always building the tape. Sometimes the legs get loose.
Yeah.
You gotta screw them back on, right? Yep. Are you willing to do the work to tighten the legs again? Right?
Or are you willing to acknowledge the fact that we've hit the maximum capacity and usage of this table,
and we have to get another table?
Right. So that means we have to go back and to negotiate and build another table, the next table, because we've maxed out here, you know. So
and we have to agree on what that new table looks like, right?
Well, just like you did, hopefully, the first one, and that's the thing.
So I think that's the key, right? Is that no matter when this table conversation happens, it has to be rooted in communication. It has to be rooted in two people being willing to hear each other out, to listen to each other, to negotiate, right? To come to an agreement on what may work for the relationship or what may not work for the relationship, and what are some tweaks that we might have to make.
All right.
Are we committed to making those tweaks? Are we committed to doing the work?
You have to. Paris says, sometimes the legs get loose. What were you doing on that table? Listen, it's my table. I do everything on the table. Listen. Again, in the beginning, we said there are different tables for different things. There's side tables, there's dining room tables, there's coffee tables, there's nightstand tables, there's decorative tables. It depends.
Paris, she should have been here when we all got on at the same time.
Okay. Well, hey, you know what? This has been a great conversation.
I'm creeping in with a finger up like some tiptoeing in the sun. I'm sorry, I'm late, y'all.
What a good talk on Thursday night. You know, November has been an amazing month. I must say, I'm thoroughly enjoying. I don't remember what we talked about last week, but I sure remember to talk tonight. Oh no, but this has been good. This has been great, and we just want to help people think about this if and when it comes up, and consider these things before we are quick to answer, you know. So, Eric, what are your final thoughts and comments?
My final thoughts and comments is this. Don't scare that person off with the conversation of what are you bringing to the table. Don't scare that person off. It's no timetable to have that conversation. And when you have that conversation, it's not a conversation to have with what you bring to the table. You got to ease into a conversation like that. You can have the conversation without actually bringing up what you bring it to the table. There are ways around it. So ladies and gentlemen,
I'm sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm sorry.
Don't use that. What? Wow. Wow.
Yo, I'm done.
I'm sorry.
She's right, though. It is after dark. That's with Bazooka Joe. Oh, go ahead, finish what you said. Sorry.
I don't know if I want to finish now. See, you got me talking through turtleneck. There ain't even turtleneck.
It's a mock neck.
I was gonna say it's a mock neck, right?
It's a thermal shirt.
Oh, The fact that you are justifying and explaining your wardrobe.
I know, right?
Oh my God, Paris was
This little
upset.
hurt in the face. He was
Ah,
put this up here.
that's where y'all make my life so wonderful. Y'all do.
Don't have,
Go ahead. Were you finished? Were you done?
don't have the conversation. Don't have the conversation of what are you bringing to the table. There's a way to have a conversation without actually using those particular words. That's
I agree. I agree with everything Eric just said.
Are those your final thoughts and comments, Theo? Did you agree with?
now a slow walk my behind out here.
No, I do. Like, I seriously, like, for me, it's the same thing, right? Don't start off the conversation with, hello, my name is, what are you bringing to the table? Right? Like, I mean, I like, no, but in all seriousness, right? You really have to be thoughtful about how you're approaching a new situation, right? Because they're like you said, there's no time limit. Because depending on the circumstance, depending on the person, there are some things that might happen sooner. Hell, if I'm 70, 80 years old, I might want to have the conversation about, what you bring to the table earlier.
Because I ain't got too much many more days ahead of me.
I'm like, yo,
Your name on
I ain't trying to be playing with you.
right? But I seriously think that, that's for someone that's mature, right? For someone that's mature, that conversation is going to be a turn off, at least in my opinion, right? For someone that's mature, like, let's not even get to that point. Let's learn each other. Let's get to know each other. Let's build, like Eric said when he gave his analogy. Let's build to the point where we're even talking about, okay, how we gonna put this table together? What does that look like?
You slide into the conversation.
Agreed. You both have given wonderful exiting shares. So I would just say this. Enjoy your journey before you're even worried about constructing the table. I concur with what both of you have said. Again, the importance of this conversation is because as this question comes up in this new age climate that we are in, these are the things that we do have to consider, and you need to really consider how you're going to respond. How are you showing up? How are you reacting to a person or to this question? And for me, again, it's not about what am I bringing to the table. I can't tell you that until we determine what this table is for.
Yeah.
And when we decide, what is this table for? What is this relationship for? Is it just a friendship? Because a friendship doesn't require as much,
building a table.
it requires different
Well,
things.
it's a different table.
It's a different table. It might be like our friendship table may not need legs, so it's a sled, like I said earlier.
Table might be like, when you go to those restaurants where you sit on the floor.
The point is,
That might be
determine what kind of table this is before you start asking a person what they are bringing to it. Consider the type of table you want to sit at before you start signing people up and inviting them to have a seat.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you do not have to accept every invitation to every table.
Nope.
You don't have to be a test dummy. Again, if I am not, or if you are not in it to serve and to feed so that we can grow, which requires communication and commitment, safe spaces, and honesty, then we do not need to have this discussion, nor do we need a table. So, hope this has been helpful to you guys. This has been great for me. As always, Sir Eric, Coach Theo, you guys are the best. We enjoy having these moments with you all. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in with us. And I want to make sure, go ahead, y'all. It's party time. It's party time. That's right, Paris. Maybe you're playing can be dangerous. It can be. But like I said, yes, first, enjoy the journey. Above all, enjoy the journey and make sure that when you're enjoying the journey, as you're enjoying the journey, you two will come together and start building the table together. That's how you start building the table, is by enjoying each other in the journey. That's where the pieces start to come into play. So don't worry about it. Don't give it too much thought. And yes, it is party time. I love the hype. I love it all because guess what? Next Thursday, we going to be celebrating your girl. That's right. My birthday Wednesday. And so Thursday night, we are celebrating with Poetry Night. All right. So get ready. Come through. Get your good poem. Put your cap on. I would say get your smoking jacket. Just don't start smoking because I'm asthmatic, so we can't handle that. But pull up. Join us at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I've got some good peoples coming through to share some poetic pieces. We just gonna celebrate. Ain't gonna do nothing fancy. We gonna wing it. Have a good time. Bring your cupcake. I know I'm gonna have mine. Bring your glass. I'm not gonna ask what's in it, but we gonna have cake. We gonna toast, maybe a little ice cream, and have some poetry if that's all right with y'all. So we love you here at the Bravo with Sheila Network. Want to ask you all to tune in tomorrow over across the street at the Sheila Ingram Ministries Network. Tune in at 12:30 because I'll be switching hats and I'll be over there. Join me for some spirituality with Elder Dawn B. We will be talking about obedience, sacrifice, and offering. 30 minutes. I promise you, we have a good time. So tune in. Bring a friend, all right? Tell somebody about it, and we will see you then. Have a great night, everybody.
Night.
Fortunately, blessings are not a snoring. You mellow, so focus on scoring. Got you underperforming. I never expect something, never assume nothing. Judging me for my past, but that's why I'm triumphant. I don't demand, I know where I stand like engineer hands. Watch how my life pans. That game plan, show out like a